What up, you Lab Rats? This is episode number 73. Today we're talking about the third part, Primal branding, here on Cozy Sunday, the icons. Stay tuned. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Cozy Sunday. For once, I'm not standing in the corner over there. Cozy Sunday, the Sunday show where we cozy up with a book that I'm reading and I disseminate my findings to you guys. And I think it's a really fun series. So we've basically covered in Primal branding the origin story. You know, this is basically what's behind successful brands. Last week we covered the creed, and now today we're going to cover the icons. And today's Sunday, so a lot of reflection is going on. I'm sitting down with my content calendar and, you know, busting out whatever I can bust out. And this Saturday, next Saturday, not yesterday's, I'll be speaking at a live event at Podcast San Diego in San Diego. You can go and support me and support the other podcasters who are going to be speaking about podcasting. I'm going to be speaking about adding video to your podcast and kind of what it's done for me and for my brand and what it's going to do for us moving forward. And the kind of trends that I see moving forward is a lot of video being used, okay? A lot of video going on. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's just a one-day event kind of thing. I'm speaking at 2:30. And I'm getting pretty pumped. I'm rehearsing every day, kind of just going through it. And basically, to kind of overcome the nervousness and anxiety of being on a stage, because I'm not naturally akin to that. That freaks me out a little bit. Just kind of see it as another podcast. And I'm videoing it. And Kevin will be there. He'll be filming the whole thing and taking pictures and documenting for me. And yeah, it should be cool. Should be really fun because I'm going to finally get to meet again some new people and some old friends from the niche, and it'll be a lot of fun. So if you're interested in going, you can find the link in the description. Okay? So like I said, today we're going to talk about icons. Let's keep this pretty tight. Icons. So basically, what Patrick Hanlon is going on about in chapter 3, icons, is icons create a kind of sensory attachment to a brand. So he goes on and explains many examples on how it's used in different ways. Icons can be the simplest thing as my red podcast mic. You know how the what do you call it? That thing is the thing that covers the thing, but it's red. Anyway, I kind of see that as one of my icons on here on the show. The branding, the music as well, the kind of intro music that starts up in the show and ends with that music is an icon. And the sort of little things that kind of add up to the whole sensory image and attachment and belief system of your brand. And so what I gathered, there were just so many examples of him talking about, you know, these things are the things that people get attached to, whether it's people, sound, smell, taste. One of my favorite icons that I always kind of get nostalgic about is hearing the PS1 sound when the logo comes on when you turn on a PlayStation, and it would have that kind of just that little ding, you know. And that always takes me back to when I had a little TV, one of those ones that are like those mobile TVs, and it had attached to it a VCR thing, and I put it on top of a plastic crate, and I had my PlayStation in there, the old one, the first one, the PS1, and I would wake up really early in the morning and just play Tomb Raider 2 all the live long day. And so that always kind of takes me back, that sound. And it's kind of cool because PS4 released like a PS1 theme, and you could hear that sound again. And I always get nice little reminiscent vibes, nostalgic vibes when I hear that. And another thing that he talks about, a lot of big brands in here, at how icons basically not only express like the logo, right? They not only express the logo and certain things like that, the kind of typical things that you would think of as icons, but there are other subtlety things. Like here's one example here that I kind of highlighted. This guy who likes to use white as an icon, the color white, using white in his designs. White reflects and amplifies perception of the world around it. It is against a white surface that one best appreciates the play of light and shadow, solids and voids. Interesting. Here's a celebrity wedding dress designer. I thought this was interesting because we are wedding photographers. And she goes, I'm not just designing a dress, I'm designing a moment. And that was very key. In the wedding, the bride is changing her life. She has that one opportunity to say something visually, who she is, who she wants to be, her inner self, and it's very expressive in the wedding gown. And believe me, 1/4 of an inch makes a difference between being sexy or not sexy. So very interesting, because my wedding dress, because we're getting married later on this year, is not white, is not typical, is not the thing that I've seen 1,000 times over. It's burgundy, and it's tulle, mostly tulle, and it's handmade, and it's bought off of Etsy, and hopefully it all turns out all right. But those kinds of things become icons as well. They become a deeply rooted reflection of who that brand is. Music. Interesting thing about music, they talk about they're always inclined to have less music than more. It's more of a subtlety thing, because music has indeed a grand power. So you just need a hint of it with your brand, just like PlayStation. You know, that little sound that they have when they start it up. And I'm sure like kids later on, 20 years from now, are gonna listen to PS4, opening sound graphics and then go, whoa, that takes me back. Yeah, so basically a lot of examples in explaining how the icon serves the brand, and how certain things can become icons in little ways and in big ways. And there's no real rule book on icons, in that anything can become an icon, anything. And there are the obvious ones, and then there are the subtle ones. And so what this kind of pointed out to me, and what you guys should take away from this chapter about icons, what I took away was what are the things that can become recurring, or what are the things that I already have that are reminiscent of the brand, and make those become more prominent in how I market whatever I'm doing. So, for example, Cozy Sunday, if I were to critique this show from just reading this chapter, I would say I would want to have some kind of icon or something reminiscent of this being Cozy Sunday. Perhaps if I was really, really adamant about the background and the setting of this video, which I'm going to be, because I've read this chapter now, is to have this become kind of cozy. And in a way, I'm already kind of starting that by filming these episodes on my bed. The bed now becomes an icon. And so I could definitely go that way. That's the easiest way of going about it. But the point is to adjust your perspective to fit what you're trying to say, right? So for every situation, there can become an icon in which you're trying to say something over and over again. And a brand is always trying to say something over and over and over again, but you just have different iterations of how to say that. So, for example, I'm looking at my Totoro stuffed animal, and Totoro has become an icon for Studio Ghibli animation. You just see him everywhere. And maybe, Totoro is not as the most popular or best made film of animation, but it's become an icon for Studio Ghibli. I would argue that, Howl's Moving Castle, or Grave of the Fireflies, or Princess Mononoke, or farly superior films to that film, just in my opinion. But I always light up when I see the figure, because the Totoro figure, because it reminds me of the whole scheme, the whole brand of Studio Ghibli. So interesting, I would say, to say the least. Interesting about icons. It gives you another perspective when you're looking at brands and how powerful they are to you, and then, you know, how powerful your brand can become when you are aware of these simple little things that affect your audience. So good things on Cozy Sunday. So thanks guys for hanging out with me on Cozy Sunday. I appreciate it. If you appreciate this Primal branding review, dissemination, Cliff Notes, leave a like on this video. And if you want to become a lab rat like I am and many others, subscribe to the channel today. And we will see you next time here on Cozy Sunday. Tomorrow on the Lab Rat Daily Show, because we always have a different theme, tomorrow is Motivation Monday. Okay, so Motivation Monday tomorrow. We'll see you then. Thanks so much for hanging out. Once again, my name's Megan, reminding you to get in the lab. We'll see you. Peace out.